Hey guys, and welcome back to another Conan Exiles video. Today we are in the eastern desert of the Exiled Lands, just slightly northeast of Bonebreaker's Bend in the mountains high above the area. This build was suggested by Jeffrey Evans on my Riverside Home build guide, so thank you for the suggestion, Jeffrey. If you've been around the channel for a while, or you've watched some of my very early Conan Exiles content, you'll know that I made a hidden base video much earlier in the year. I think it was probably within my first 10 or so videos on the game, and I created a small sandstone home hidden in the mountains in the desert. Given that this base is, frankly, old now, I quite like the idea of actually rebuilding it, given all the DLC that's been released since and the knowledge I've gained in building since then. I decided to make this build bigger and a bit more practical than the last one, so hopefully you will all enjoy. I decided to use arena pieces from the Blood and Sand DLC for this build, as it suits the colour palette of the environment without being sandstone. Let's be honest, nobody likes sandstone. So, without further ado, let's get started. Firstly, we're going to start off by building the base plate. I'm going to be stretching the base across the small top area and the plateau below it, connecting them with a ladder column. The base plate is a fairly odd size that's kind of hard to explain or quantify, though the roof will be flat, so I won't be spending 30 minutes trying to mount a coherent roof on this build. Thank God. Next, for the walls. The entire build will be 2 tiles high and 1 story tall, utilising flat and sloped ceiling pieces to help create the roof. Having the roof flat and using these sloped pieces definitely helps to make the build feel a lot more considered and elegant inside, and adds some interesting architecture to the build where a generic flat ceiling would probably leave the structure feeling a bit plain and, frankly, kinda boring. When the exterior walls were done, I then built the internal walls, separating both parts of the build into various different rooms and corridors, which you'll see furnished for purpose in, of course, the furnishing phase. I also ended up creating multiple doorways as an airlock between the hatch on the top side of the build and the doorway near the balcony on the bottom side. Whilst I definitely don't make builds for PvP viability, this is a build that could feasibly be used for maybe a short while in PvP, I'd imagine, so having a bit of extra defence against any sort of raid that presumably doesn't involve explosives on the entrance points can't really hurt too much. Then again, I say that I know nothing about PvP or how raids are even executed, so maybe take that with a small pinch of salt. Finally, when the shell of the build was done, it was then time to, of course, furnish. I've lit the build inside with wall lanterns, as they give off enough light to provide some slightly improved visibility within the build, yet not enough to make the build easy to spot at night time. I've also placed various fighters around the build to defend against any potential attack. Entering the top floor room, this is the Expedition room. This is designed as a room where commonly used items and resources are kept, so they can easily be taken out for excursions into the Exiled Lands, or stored here for sorting later. This is to better streamline the process of leaving the build to gather resources. Heading down the ladder, this is a pretty interesting part of the build in my opinion, as the ladder column is quite long. The ladder and this section entirely is definitely inspired by something. See if you can guess what it is in the comments. Downstairs is the main floor, with the bedroom easily accessible from the ladder column. There are also some more fighters on this floor, along with some workstations in the corridor. A little further down is the main storage room, which offers more secure storage for more important and precious resources. Just before the balcony is the lounge, where food can be prepared or one can just relax and sit down after a hard day in the desert. The balcony also provides some quite impressive views across this area of the map. At night the build is quite dark and for good reason. The wall lanterns provide just enough light to make sure you're not fumbling around in the darkness all the time, but work to prevent people from spotting your base at night due to the overabundance of light spilling out of the windows and cracks in the walls. Had I just used regular torches here, though they are less expensive resource wise, the base would be far easier to spot, and that kind of defeats the whole purpose of having a hidden base. And there we have it, a hidden base in the eastern desert of the Exiled Lands, slightly northeast of Bonebreaker's Bend. Thanks for watching, and thanks again to Jeffrey for the suggestion. I really quite enjoyed this build. Though it may be small, it feels like a nice functional base, definitely a place I'd choose to live if I were playing PvP. If you've enjoyed this video, leave a like and let me know in the comments below if you have any build suggestions for future videos. As usual, absolutely anything is welcome. Don't forget to both follow me on Twitch and join the Fun Art Discord through the links in the description. And if you would like to support the future of this channel, the link to my Patreon is also in the description below, with various tiers and rewards including special Discord roles, sneak peeks at new videos, your name at the end of videos, and more. On that note, a thanks to our patrons Sammy, Sir Dialot and Dumbfox. If you are new here, feel free to check out the rest of the content on the channel. There are new Conan Exiles videos coming every Wednesday, Friday and Sunday throughout December, so if you like what you see, subscribe and ring the notification bell to be the first to see the next video, and to join us on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.